Hello, hello, guys. Welcome back. We're moving on to our after stories, and I'm very, very excited today because it's the doctor's turn, Mr. Adage, and I'm so excited. I miss this boy the most out of everybody. So let's jump in from his perspective to start. I do remember that last time we saw him, he was in desperate need, shall we say. So let's see how things have progressed from there.
I'd been working for the hounds for a few months already after Glissade was dead.
Good on you for still not calling him your father. Appreciate you. Did you like the food?
We'd just eaten dinner. Cyrus was standing in the kitchen asking this meekly. I didn't look up from the book I was reading and grumbled a reply. She stopped washing the dishes and came over.
Did you like it? I thought it was a lot better than it used to be.
I looked at the ceiling for a few seconds as though pondering this and turned towards her. You're right. It was better than it used to be. Maybe that was too harsh. It had, in fact, been very good.
Hey, my girl learned how to cook. Good job, girl.
I think my taste buds haven't been the same since she started cooking. Not in a bad way, though. Not at all. I'd given up long ago on the taste of food and merely regarded it as sustenance. When I ate her cooking, it reminded me how enjoyable eating could be. Long story short, my taste buds were getting spoiled.
Yay! The ultimate revenge! Good job, girl! I knew you could do it.
Cyrus is doing a good job with the cooking now. I should let her know sometimes. And yet, when I opened my mouth, all that came out was bland.
We'll work on it, sir.
It had always been that way, ever since the orphanage. I'd always been the guy held in high regard for his elegant face, and in low regard for his attitude.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at how he's like, I'm very aware how attractive my face is. But what comes out of my mouth is... Oh, I love you, Adage.
They told me how cool I'd look if I laughed. They told me how attractive I'd be if I was nicer. Some of them had tried to change me, fix me, but I'd pushed them all away. I had no interest in changing myself for the sake of someone else.
Until?
And that's how I ended up here. If communication skills aren't cultivated, they wither. I knew that I didn't have to do much to make Cyrus happy, but a strange sense of shame was standing in the way. Still, this can't go on. She'd cooked for me. I had to say something. It was better than it used to be, but... I froze, seeing something moving in the corner of my eye. No way.
What's wrong?
Cyrus turned around, trying to find out what I was looking at. Hiding in a crack between the wall and the floor was...
This music! For a cockroach! I'm dying. What is happening in this?
a cockroach. The most loathsome animal I knew was the dreaded cockroach. Its feelers quivered as it turned to look at me. It probably wasn't actually looking at me, but it felt like that in my mind.
You really gave our girl grief over lizards, and you're freaking out over a cockroach, sir. Although, to be fair, I'd rather hold a lizard than a cockroach. Yeah, they exist in the depths, too.
How can you be so calm? You hated the lizard. It's a cockroach.
Okay, alright, we're on the same page. You hate them, Adage?
So what?
Nothing. My wet nurse used to hate them, too.
Your wet nurse.
I really hope that when we get to Cyrus's point of view, there's just like very calm music playing while this is going on. That's all I want.
Cyrus covered her mouth with her hand and laughed. I didn't understand why. It's only to be expected. That's my natural enemy.
Your natural enemy?
Yes. They used to scuttle around the bed when I was sleeping in the orphanage. It gives me the creeps just to think about it. I have to kill it. Easier said than done. I couldn't rise from my chair.
You're not going to do anything?
Shut up! Don't rush me. I'll kill it. Soon. Cyrus calmly regarded the cockroach and said she wouldn't rush me. What was wrong with her? Am I the weird one? I gulped and looked at it. No, I couldn't do it. I was too unsteady in mind and body. Hey you, can't you do something?
I can?
You're my assistant. Just get rid of it.
Your assistant has to do this as well?
Cyrus grimaced and accepted.
Then I'll do something about it.
Glancing over at me now and then, Cyrus took the tablecloth and walked up to the cockroach. With a deft motion, she picked up the cockroach using the cloth and threw it out the door.
Okay, I'm proud of her. I was wondering and slightly worried that she would put it on him. And while that would have been entertaining, I don't think he would have ever forgiven her.
So fast.
We can't use this anymore. I'll have to buy a new one.
She threw the tablecloth into the trash bin. Then she washed her hands, expression unchanged. Honestly, what was wrong with her? No. No. How can you do that so easily? It's a cockroach. Aren't you afraid?
Not compared to a lizard.
It's not even close. Lizards are kind of cute. You don't think cockroaches are disgusting?
Somewhat. But I'm used to them.
How?
Both my wet nurse and my mother were mortally afraid of cockroaches. There was a huge commotion any time they turned up in the house. Aw, were you the designated roach killer, Cyrus? That's awesome. My father didn't like them either, so I took care of them. I'll never see them again.
I see. She'd lost her parents too, just like me. No, not like me. Hers had been killed, all for my father's egotistical schemes. I shouldn't have reminded her of them, even if it was accidental. I hesitated, not knowing what to say next. She put a cup before me while I wavered. What is this?
Hot milk. I figured you would need it.
Oh, that's right. She told me she would make something when I was reading the book. I took the cup. It was quite hot. The milk must have come fresh off the stove.
You're going to study until late again?
Cyrus looked down at my book. She sounded impressed. Yeah. Medicine evolves by the day. There are many things I don't know. The main problem is that we have poor facilities here in the Dubs. There might be sicknesses I can treat using improvised treatments, so I have to stay on top of that.
I see. You're a good doctor, Adage.
What? Why are you saying that now? What did you think about me before?
That you were a rude doctor. Got him.
Cyrus grinned mischievously and walked away.
Look at our girl being all mischievous. You have to get up early tomorrow. Don't stay up too late. Good night, Adage.
She disappeared into the bedroom. What was that all about? She was younger than I was, and yet not showing the proper respect.
Terrible. No respect in the young generation.
Still, I was happy she cared about me. Then I pinched my own cheeks. Ouch.
Is he like, is this real? Is this my life right now? Am I that lucky? Yes.
Telling myself to focus and get my act together, I looked at my book.
How successful were you?
She told me not to stay up too late. When I looked up, the sun had begun to rise.
Bad, Adage.
And I have work today, too. Figuring I had to sleep at least a little, I headed to the bed. Cyrus was sleeping there.
Oh. Someone's been upgraded from the couch. Yay! And he's not, like, rude. It's just like, yeah, well, she's there.
I snuck in, doing my best not to wake her.
Adage.
I'd woken her up. She was mumbling. Hey. I didn't know what else to say.
Hey.
She didn't seem as unmanageable as usual, then. Cyrus looked at me with sleepy eyes. I'm a lucky guy. I lay down next to her.
Damn, man, how much energy you got?
If I wanted her now, I could have her. She was so close, I was almost touching her. Still, I felt only a minor urge to take her. But it's there. I'm still a man. It wasn't that I wasn't a sexual person. I just didn't feel that way about her.
Lies! Can we roll the tape from the end of his route, please? Can we just roll like a small clip?
Are you sure? I'm serious this time. I really will fuck you this time.
Okay, we all know lies.
Sleeping next to her still feels nice. And I put a hand on her cheeks and caressed her skin. She squirmed and whispered a question. I wanted to make sure I wasn't imagining you. That was a dumb thing to say, but Cyrus smiled and put her hand on mine.
I'm right here.
Her warmth seeped into my cold skin. Yeah, you are.
Oh. That's so precious. Oh my goodness. Something very wholesome about this. I'm like getting all choked up.
I put a hand on her back and drew her closer.
Adage?
I whispered into her hair that I still feared she would disappear.
But I'm so close.
Yeah. Well, is this all right for you? I embraced Cyrus, telling her these irrational reasons. The body is so strange. I can't sense anything but her touch, but it feels soothing. I felt so calm when she was close. It's so strange. The biological responses of men and women to each other were so strange. Being together was fairly normal, but there were many different women in the world. And yet, for me, only Cyrus was special. It was etched into my instincts. The world is full of mysteries.
Even to you, Adage?
She patted my hair, complimenting me on my studies.
The day is still young, but good work.
She smiled at me like a parent would smile to comfort a child. What the hell? I'm not a little kid. I wasn't in any shape to be persuasive, though. Yeah, I'm tired. I need some comfort.
Say no more.
I took her hand and kissed her fingers. But that was all. I didn't take it further. If I sleep with her now, I won't be able to work.
Mm-hmm.
My job was saving the lives of others. Lust had to take a back seat.
Sorry, what was that, Mr. I feel no sexual attraction towards her? You want to say that again?
I have to focus on my work. I remembered that a child had died because I had put my personal issues first and sighed. Besides, this is enough for me. I'd been alone since I'd been young. I'd never needed to sleep next to someone for comfort before. I'd never known someone's warmth next to me. Now I didn't need more. For now. It will change eventually. Cyrus was too cute to let her conserve her chastity. I grinned. Cyrus asked what was up.
Well, what's up, girl, is that for a guy who claims to be, like, not interested in sex at all, he spent, like, the last 15 minutes thinking about boning you. Except for when there was a cockroach involved. This man, sir.
Nothing. It's too early to get up. Go back to sleep. I kissed her on the cheek and caressed her hair. Honey or darling? Which do you prefer?
Honey, please. What?
Let's say it's what I use before we sleep. Which do you like more? She stayed silent for a moment and eventually whispered that it didn't matter.
Just I used both. Mwah, chef's kiss.
Darling, I love you more than anything, honey. Good night.
Good night.
Cyrus blushed and retreated deeper into the sheets. Are you a little kid? I stroked her cheek through the sheets and looked outside the window. Dawn was approaching. Another day on our long road towards the future. I closed my eyes, grateful that I had Cyrus to walk that road together with.
Okay, I was like, are we gonna go for a long time? Oh, man. Wow, okay. So, Adage, still horny. Did I? I did. I'm like, why didn't I see my girl? Okay, well, I want to see my girl in her face. I'm gonna click that, go through it, edit in where she should have been showing her face to my original footage, and then we're gonna do this. I'm smart. I was distracted. I was so excited. I was just like, let's just go. Go number one. Okay. I will be back in a second. Okay. I think I fixed my sins now. Let's see this now from Cyrus's point of view, and it'll probably be a lot less smexual. So let's go. Although maybe my girl will surprise me. Who knows? But I just want to see her her music when the cockroach scene happens. Oh, so good. Adage had been working for the hounds for a few months already after Glissade was dead. I'm so glad they don't actually live at headquarters, but they still come home. Did you like the food? We'd just eaten dinner. I was standing in the kitchen and Adage was reading a book. He didn't look up and only grunted. He must be focused on his book. I stopped washing the dishes and walked over to him. Did you like it? I thought it was a lot better than it used to be. He looked at the ceiling for a few seconds before turning towards me.
You're right. It was better than it used to be.
That was all he said. I suppose he's still not impressed. I had brought it up, so I was in no position to get upset at him. Aw, man, she doesn't know how much he's like, man, she's such a good cook. My taste buds are spoiled. Still, I thought it was rather good, to be honest. My hopes of appreciation dashed, I retreated. Let's think about this optimistically. He'd eaten everything and given me his honest opinion. I hadn't been relieved of cooking duty either. That had to count for something. I also just noticed she doesn't have a last name anymore. Does that mean they did get married? Because, I mean, I do not fault them for not wanting to have Roselight as their last name. Considering events, I do not blame them. I'll have to keep trying. One day I'm sure he will.
It was better than it used to be, but...
Adage seemed to freeze mid-sentence.
No way.
What's wrong? Wondering what he was looking at, I turned around. Something was hiding in a crack between the floor and the wall. Yes! I'm so proud that she's just like totally calm music. Mwah. That's all I wanted.
A cockroach.
Yeah, they exist in the depths too.
How can you be so calm? You hated the lizard. It's a cockroach.
You hate them, Adage?
So what?
Nothing. My wet nurse used to hate them too.
Your wet nurse?
Adage can't handle cockroaches. I giggled and stared at him.
It's only to be expected. That's my natural enemy.
Your natural enemy?
Yes. They used to scuttle around the bed when I was sleeping in the orphanage. It gives me the creeps just to think about it. I have to kill it.
Kill it? That's a bit extreme. I thought throwing it out would be enough, but only watched. He didn't move an inch and merely stared at the cockroach. You're not going to do anything?
Shut up. Don't rush me. I'll kill it. Soon.
I'm not rushing you. There was nothing to be afraid of.
Hey, you. Can't you do something?
I can?
You're my assistant. Just get rid of it.
Your assistant has to do this as well? Fine, fine. Then I'll do something about it. I took the tablecloth and walked up to the cockroach. Got it. Easy. I picked up the cockroach using the tablecloth and threw it out the door. A job well done, if I do say so myself. We can't use this anymore. I'll have to buy a new one. I threw the tablecloth into the trash and went into the kitchen to wash my hands.
No. No. How can you do that so easily? It's a cockroach. Aren't you afraid?
Not compared to a lizard.
It's not even close. Lizards are kind of cute. You don't think cockroaches are disgusting?
Somewhat. But I'm used to them.
How?
Both my wet nurse and my mother were mortally afraid of cockroaches. There was a huge commotion any time they turned up in the house. My father didn't like them either, so I took care of them. I'll never see them again.
I see.
Ah. His usually serene expression was cloudy. I shouldn't have reminded him of my past, I think. It was his father who had ultimately caused my parents' death, not Adage himself. I'll have to be more careful. I looked down into the pot on the stove. All right, that looks good. I poured the contents into a cup. The cup I put next to Adage, taking care not to spill anything.
What is this?
Hot milk. I figured you would need it. You're going to study until late again? I looked into the book he was reading.
Yeah. Medicine evolves by the day. There are many things I don't know. The main problem is that we have poor facilities here in the depths. There might be sicknesses I can treat using improvised treatments, so I have to stay on top of that.
I see. Very studious. I didn't like his general attitude, but he took his job very seriously. You're a good doctor, Adage.
What? Why are you saying that now? What did you think about me before?
That you were a rude doctor. Shock. I stepped away and went to the bedroom. You have to get up early tomorrow. Don't stay up too late. Good night, Adage. She rendered him speechless. Someone... I hadn't heard anything. There was only a slight vibration. Oh, perhaps... Adage?
Hey.
Yeah, it's him. I mumbled a response. I opened my eyes enough to see him lie next to me before closing them again. Adage stayed up so late. Slowly, my mind cleared a little. I wanted to talk about something, but he needed sleep. We can talk tomorrow. Something touched my cheek. His fingers. I opened my eyes again, put my hand on his, and looked at him. What's wrong?
I wanted to make sure I wasn't imagining you.
I wasn't sure what he was thinking. Trust me, you should be glad you don't know. I'm right here. He smiled at me when I put a hand on his cold skin.
Yeah, you are.
So cute. Adage withdrew his hand from my cheek and put it around my back. Gently, he drew me closer. Adage? He whispered into my hair that he feared I would disappear. It tickles. But I'm so close.
Yeah. Well, is this all right for you?
It's all right for me, of course. My feelings only became stronger over time. I thought he wasn't interested in love. I was in love, the sort that had been outlawed in the Heights. I'd met other men after I came to the depths, but I only felt like this with him. It's strange. What would have happened to me if I hadn't met him? I can't imagine it. I don't know.
The world is full of mysteries.
Ah. Maybe he had read my mind. Maybe he was just thinking the same. I reached for his hair. Even to you, Adage? Your studies must be difficult. I ran my fingers through his silky hair, which seemed to contain a hint of the sky's blue. The day is still young, but good work.
Yeah, I'm tired. I need some comfort.
He took my hand and kissed my fingers. After pondering something, he smiled. What's up?
Nothing. It's too early to get up. Go back to sleep.
He kissed me on the cheek and patted my hair.
Honey or darling? Which do you prefer?
What?
Let's say it's what I use before we sleep. Which do you like more?
Which? Both were embarrassing. I couldn't pick one. It doesn't matter.
Darling, I love you more than anything, honey. Good night.
Good night. Unable to tolerate it anymore, I retreated into the sheets.
Are you a little kid?
He patted my head through the sheets. The day they exiled me to the sanctuary district, I wouldn't have expected to live such a peaceful life. I'd lost much, and a lot of it was important, but I was alive. I lived with the person I loved, and the morning sun lit a path for me onward. I gotta say, after the Elton Ulrich after stories, it's nice to see a Cyrus that's like so comfy with the idea of love. Like she's just kind of like, I love this man. I really do. And they're just like so, yeah, they got a life. They've got like a full-on life going. I don't know. It's just I love those two. They're a good match for each other somehow. Adorable. Adorable. Love it. Print it. Did it. Alright. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed Adage's after story. Next time, I'm hoping for and expecting domesticness with Inez. That's all I want. I want them, like, cooking. Maybe she's pregnant. I would die if she was, like, pregnant. Because they were just, like, so lovey-dovey domestic at the end of Inez's route. So I'm just like, give me more of that, please. It was so short. I just want, like, a little bit more of that. So, fingers crossed. Hopefully I will see you there for that, guys.